Chadashah, portion 16 for Beshalach. We'll be reading Matthew 5. Seeing the crowds, Yeshua walked up the hill. After he sat down, his talmidim came to him, and he began to speak. This is what he taught them. How blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. How blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. How blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. How blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. How blessed are those who show mercy, for they shall be shown mercy. How blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. How blessed are those who make peace, for they will be called sons of God. How blessed are those who are persecuted, because they pursue righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. How blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me. Rejoice, be glad, because your reward in heaven is great. They persecuted the prophets before you in the same way. You are salt for the land, but if salt becomes tasteless, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except being thrown out for people to trample on. You are light for the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Likewise, when people light a lamp, they don't cover it with a bowl, but put it on a lampstand, so that it shines for everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before people, so that they may see the good things you do and praise your Father in heaven. Don't think that I have come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to complete. Yes, indeed, I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yud or a stroke will pass from the Torah. Not until everything that must happen has happened. So whoever disobeys the least of these mikvot and teaches others to do so will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches will be called great in heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness is far greater than that of the Torah teachers and the Pishrim, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that our fathers were told, do not murder, and that anyone who commits murder will be subject to judgment. But I tell you, anyone who nurses anger against his brother will be subject to judgment. That whoever calls his brother you good for nothing will be brought before the Sanhedrin. That whoever says fool incurs the penalty of burning in the fire of Gehenna. So if you are offering your gift at the temple altar, and you remember there that your brother has something against you, leave your gift where it is by the altar, and go, make peace with your brother. Then come back and offer your gift. If someone sues you and come to terms with him quickly, while you and he are on the way to court, or he may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the officer of the court, and you may be thrown in jail. Yes, indeed, I tell you, you will certainly not get out until you have paid the last penny. You have heard that our fathers were told, do not commit adultery. But I tell you that a man who even looks at a woman with the purpose of lusting after her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye makes you sin, gouge it out and throw it away. Better that you should lose one part of you than have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand makes you sin, cut it off and throw it away. Better that you should lose one part of you than you have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. It was said, whoever divorces his wife must give her a get. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except on the grounds of fornication makes her an adulteress, and that anyone who marries a divorcee commits adultery. Again, you have heard that our fathers were told, do not break your oath, and keep your vows to Adonai. But I tell you, do not swear at all, not by heaven, and because it is God's throne, and not by the earth, because it is his footstool, and not by Jerusalem, because it is the city of the great king. And don't swear by your head, because you can't make a single hair white or black. Just let your yes be a simple yes, and your no a simple no. Anything more than this has at its origin in evil. You have heard that your fathers were told, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you not to stand up against someone who does you wrong. On the contrary, if someone hits you on the right cheek, let him hit you on the left too. If someone wants to sue you for your shirt, let him have your coat as well. And if soldiers force you to carry his pack for 1 mile, carry it for 2. When someone asks you for something, give it to him. And when someone wants to borrow something from you, lend it to him. You have heard that our fathers have told, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you, and then you will become children of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun shine on good and bad people alike, and he sends rain to the righteous and the unrighteous alike. What reward do you get if you love only those who love you? Why, even tax collectors do that. And if you have friendly only to your friends, are you doing anything out of the ordinary? Even the goyim do that. Therefore, be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect.